Okay. So I just want to make sure, hi Samuel. I just want to make sure that I introduce my sidekick tonight. Chloe Mansfield is here with me. My name is Kim Russell, and I'm the productivity coach in Canandaigua, New York, which is outside of Rochester, New York, between Rochester and Syracuse, in the beautiful region of the Finger Lakes. How many people have heard of the Finger Lakes? Raise your hand. Julie has. Anyone else? Beautiful area. And so I am super excited to be on this tonight with you all and to be with you on your Ignite After Dark journey. So I want to make sure that I go over some expectations and just let you all know what you can expect over the next couple of hours. So all of the Ignite After Dark classes are 2 hours long. It goes from 6 until 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with the exception of tonight's. Tonight's, because it is super exciting, is going to be 3 hours long because we have a lot to go over for our very first one. So this is going to involve a lot of active participation. We're going to have conversations. I'm going to ask questions, all those sort of things. Chloe is going to help me stay on top of the chat, and if there's questions and all those kinds of things, she's going to be right on top of all of that. So so we are going to have a great time with this, and we are going to get started. We are something that's important about Ignite After Dark. Hopefully you can all see this in the chat. We have people from everywhere on here. We have people from Maryland, Florida, Texas, New York, from a lot of different places, Georgia. And so we, in Illinois, we have a lot of different people, which means that our experiences may be a little different, and that's okay. This is a guide, and this is going to help you have some skills that will help you become a great agent, and even one of the best agents that you can be. So before we get started, I'm curious who the newest person to join Keller Williams is who has been on this call. So raise your hand if you have been with Keller Williams for less than 2 months. Anyone? Alicia? Anyone else? Jessica joined August 20th. Okay. Oh my God. Ashley, sorry. Oh my gosh. Ashley Martinez, you joined yesterday? Okay. Ashley Martinez, did anyone join? Okay. We have 2 people who joined yesterday. This is incredible. Did anyone join today? Yes? Yes. Who's saying yes? Did someone say yes, they joined today? Okay, so the newest people, I want to welcome you. Chloe is going to make a note of your name, and I am going to send you a gift card for Starbucks for jumping onto this today on your second day at Keller Williams and being super flexible. So welcome, and we hope that you love Keller Williams. If you love it 1% as much as I do, then you're going to have an amazing experience. So so thank you for coming, and thank you for joining tonight. So what I'm curious about, if you could just throw in the chat, what did you do before you joined the world of real estate? Insurance? Physical therapy? Nonprofit? Education? Wow. Okay, so the experiences that we have all had here are very vast. Why did you decide to join real estate? These seem like some great jobs. A nanny, that sounds amazing. Why would you want to be in real estate? Why would you join this wacky world of real estate?
Are you asking about nannying?
I'm asking, yes, Julie, I'm asking about nannying, and then I'm going to go to Afifa. I think that's how you pronounce the name, but I want to check on that in just a minute. So yes, Julie.
I am actually a launch coach like you, or a
Oh,
productivity coach.
terrific.
So I basically nannied kids, now I nanny adults.
And how has that experience been so far?
Love it, love it. I've been doing it for 2.5 years.
Oh, terrific. Oh, great. So you're my co-teacher tonight. I love it.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But okay. Actually, I'm on because I'm trying to get our agents who are part-time involved in this, and I wanted to see what it was so I could actually sell it properly.
Oh, terrific. Wow, no pressure for me. Okay.
No, no
awesome.
pressure. I'm not recording, you are. So
true.
all good.
Okay. A FIFA, is that correct?
That is correct.
Wow, I got it on the first try. Great. Why did you decide to come into the world of real estate?
First disclaimer, sorry about my background noise. I have 5-year-old twins.
Oh my gosh, God bless you.
But that's actually part of the reason I wanted flexibility in my life and schedule to help take care of my family. Physical therapy was great, but it didn't allow me much flexibility in my day-to-day life.
Sure.
And also interested in some investment opportunities. I have some friends who are really into investing. I'm like, you know what, you're giving all these people this money, you should give it to me.
I love that. I love that. 100%. Yes, 100%. Thank you for sharing.
No problem.
Hey, Sean, I'm gonna pick on you for a moment because I love your answer. Not that I didn't love other answers as well, but I didn't want my life in the hands of someone else forever. So can you talk a little bit about what being your own boss means for you?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So what that means to me is like I control my life. I don't have to worry about someone telling me I have to wake up at a certain time or I don't have to worry about being late for work. I don't have to worry about being fired. Just having that comfortability to do my own thing, make my own schedule, and I could just be responsible for me. You know, I'd rather be on me than be on somebody else to decide how I make a living or like how I'm getting paid. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. I think one of the things that's so great about real estate and particularly great about Keller Williams is that the sky's the limit. And really how much we earn is up to us in many ways. And so being your own boss and is really an incredible opportunity. And so I think that's great. Thank you for sharing.
Yo. Yes. Man, yo, you didn't sign up?
Excuse me? Excuse me? Okay, I don't think that's for us. Lori, you mentioned that you like the work-life flexibility. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Thanks for asking. So I was in a career for 26 years in upper leadership, which meant 14-hour days, if not longer, every single day, for the most part. And I worked my way up to that, and I was really excited. And yes, made a lot of money, but I was capped because I became a work-at-home employee that moved to Illinois away from our home office during the last couple of years. And so my career path got cut off because of it, because I wasn't willing to return to the other state I'd come from. So this actually allows me to kind of knock that ceiling and create whatever I want to. So I'm pretty excited about that.
I love that. How long have you been with Keller Williams?
Since March.
Since March. Terrific. Well, thank you so much for sharing. I love that.
Sure.
I'm glad to be a teeny little blip on your journey and in your experience.
I appreciate the help.
Okay, last one. I'm going to pick on Michael. Michael, I'm curious a little bit about your answer because I love it and I love the impact on the community that you want to have. as a real estate salesperson. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure thing. And I apologize because I'm at my son's karate tonight while I'm doing this.
That's okay. One of the things that a lot of people indicated is that they like that flexibility that we have. So I
Yeah,
understand.
absolutely. So when my wife and I were looking for a place when we first got engaged, this guy showed up late, half dressed in like a beat up car. And then we found ourselves like sitting at our kitchen table, and it wasn't at my parents' house. And he's like getting us to sign documents. He's like, "Oh, you can give us a check later for this deposit, whatever." And I kind of turned to my wife and I was like, if I did like 1 millionth better than this guy, it's a service to like everyone who deserves a great service. Like that is not how it should be. And I came from Teach for America, laid off every year because of last in, first out, Great Recession. And her and I decided to bet on ourselves and just really, I was born in that community too. So for me, it was like really meaningful to be able to give back to where I grew up and serve people who had to help raise me. And it just was really amazing. So I just think we do an amazing, like who we are as a professional is way more than a transaction, way more than a transaction. And I think embracing that for me helped me to really think of it as service first and foremost, and kind of the job second. And you make money because you do a good job meeting the need of the community that you live and serve. Anyway, so that's kind of, if that helps, I don't know.
I think that's terrific. Thank you for sharing that. I'm sorry about that that experience that you had. And I think it's really commendable that you took that experience and said, you know what, I can do this. I can do this better, and people deserve better. And I think that's really commendable. How many people, just of a show of hands, how many people have heard when they've been talking to a potential client or talking to a friend or a family member, how many people have heard, gosh, why would you want to go into real estate? Realtors are fill in the blank, right? Realtors are lazy or are jerks or don't care about me or any of those kinds of things. Has anybody heard that yet? Michael, yes. Anyone else? No? Great. Okay. That's terrific. And I wouldn't be surprised sometime in the next couple of years if you do hear that. I think that's something that sometimes that you do hear, and I think that's something sometimes that we have to overcome is people's perceptions from one person who they may have interacted with, and to be able to overcome that and to show them the amazing agent who cares deeply and is super knowledgeable in order to be able to help them be successful. So okay, we're gonna move on to the next slide. Did everyone's slide advance? Just making sure technology is working. Okay, so we have 4 key objectives here that we're going to talk about. There's by the end of Ignite, what we are really hoping that you're going to be able to do is you're going to be on the path to becoming the real estate expert of choice. You're going to do that by being able to create a robust value proposition for your business, developing a lead generation system with the lead generation model that comes from the book that hopefully some of you have already heard about, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, often referred to as the MREA or the Red Book from our co-founder Keller Williams and from our executive chairman Gary Keller. You're going to be able to establish a lead follow-up system based on the KW touch plans, and you're going to be able to practice and perfect the steps of a real estate transaction to get to a successful close and to get paid. Because as much as we're all enjoying this, this is a job, and so we want to make sure that that you are getting paid in this. So the goals of Ignite is that you're going to also have some appointments. You're going to be able to begin working with a buyer or seller to buy or sell a home, and to develop some successful habits that you're going to be able to keep with you throughout the duration of your exciting real estate career. So, course overview. So today what we're going to be talking about is you being the real estate expert. We're going to be talking about spark your career, where you get acquainted with Keller Williams and ignite at a really high level. We're going to be talking about the culture of Keller Williams and your market center. We're going to talk about resources, and we're going to be talking about a vision. So those are just some things that you can look forward to today. So Ignite instills in all of us a new way of thinking, and it's really about having a successful mindset with no doubts. Today, we're going to talk about how you get that mindset, and what we use at Keller Williams is what's called the 6 personal perspectives. Has anyone heard of that before? Julie has. So the 6 personal perspectives are really amazing tools, and we're going to dive into those more in just a couple minutes. We're also going to talk about the value of working with Keller Williams and your market center, resources, and the daily success system that's going to help supercharge your business through Ignite and beyond. So this quote is from Gary Keller in his team's published book. Gary Keller is probably one of the most influential people in the world of real estate. And this quote really expresses something that's so true about real estate. Who wants to share their thoughts on this quote? Anyone? If you just raise your hand in the on the screen, then I can call on you. Or I can just call on you other. Anyway.
I'll take a stab at it. You said, what does the quote mean to you?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Wei Sean.
Yes, hi Wei Sean. What do you think this quote means?
So it's the quote, anyone can do it, not everyone will you. So what that means to me is that, yeah, everybody has the opportunity, has the same opportunity, but only few people actually buckle down and do the work. Like some people may be more disciplined than others, and it takes a certain amount of discipline to achieve certain goals.
Absolutely. Yes, thank you. Tamika wrote in the chat, it is possible if you put the work in. And JC says the success is within your efforts and capacities. JC, I love that. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Are you able to hop on the chat or on the are you able to unmute?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Tell me more. I love that.
But when I said it is within your effort and capacity, it is like the quote said, anyone can do it, not everyone will you. Us at Keller Williams, we have the resource in place to do it. Not everyone, not everywhere do have the resource on site. And even though we do have it, not every realtor that will come at our door will succeed, because in order to succeed, you need to first be willing to put the work and make sure you do it. That's technically what I want to say.
Yes, thank you for sharing that, JC. I appreciate that. I think that's I completely agree. At the end of the day, you are the one who's going to need to decide if this is what you want to do. Real estate is not easy. We have a lot of amazing systems and habits that we can help teach you to make things easier. But at the end of the day, it's hard work, and you're going to have to put that work in. And so really anyone can do it, but not everyone will. And so you need to be able to ask yourself, are you going to be able to do it? Is this something that you are committed to and that you're invested in? So I mentioned a moment ago about the 6 personal perspectives. These are really what's considered the key to success and abundance. The 6 personal perspectives are ways that successful people from before us have come to think and approach problems and challenges. It's really the mindset of success. And so we're going to talk a little bit about each one of these, because each of these is going to be able to help you achieve success both in your business and in your life. So, commit to self-mastery. So the first perspective is that all high achievers share is to commit to self-mastery. Now, it's not commit to mastery, it's commit to self-mastery. And so what's the difference? The difference really is that self-mastery is the possession of great knowledge, skills, and habits that make you the master of you. And so when you commit to achieving this, you know what your goals are, you know what your strengths are, you know what your weaknesses are, you know how to work with both your strengths and weaknesses to seek and master the necessary knowledge, skills, and habits to reach your goals. So what I'm going to ask you now is, are you committed to this? Are you committed to working on this? Are you ready and committed to knowing your goals and your strengths and your weaknesses? And are you committed to acquiring the knowledge, skills, and habits that you're going to need to be successful in the business? Can I see some head nodding? Or shaking if it's a no? Yeah, okay. So the second perspective is to commit to the 80-20 principle. Has anyone heard of this before? Couple people maybe? So the 80-20 principle is the idea that 20% of your actions will lead to 80% of the results. And this is one of the most powerful principles that you can apply to your life. It's about getting the most from your time and effort and maximizing your results. It's about having focus. So you're going to sometimes hear that 20% activities are considered big rocks or your one thing or your dollar producing activities. So I'm going to ask a question and I want to see what folks are going to be able to answer in the chat. So when we say the 20% activities, what do you think is the most dollar productive activity of a real estate agent? What's the best use of your time? What's the one thing that you should be doing every day, no matter what? We've got some answers coming in. Lots of lead gen. I do not see buying coffee for your coach on here, and that is definitely something I would encourage. This is great. Yes, lots of lead generation. It really is lead generation. When you commit to this, you're going to make more money and you're going to have more time with your family and be more organized. Lead gen, and lead gen really is building relationships. Absolutely. And so if you are able to do that every day, building relationships and doing lead generation, you are going to have a successful business. The next is what we call moving from E to P. So this is the third perspective. And what this means is that you are moving from an entrepreneurial approach to a purposeful approach. So this goes along a lot with what we had talked about. And I think it was, it might have been JC. I'm sorry, I can't remember exactly. But what we had talked about with the quote. And so when we look at this, everyone can attain a certain level of success utilizing our natural abilities. And we're all going to also expect to hit a ceiling at some point. And so what we need to be able to do is use the models and the systems to have the breakthroughs that we need to be able to have so that we can end up moving from that entrepreneurial approach, which is when you hit a ceiling and you just stay there, you just get stuck, and then you get down on yourself, and then you decide, oh, I don't know if I want to do this anymore, and then you do a little bit, and then you keep going down. What we want to do is help you break through that natural ceiling of achievement. So many of you who left a salaried job for a career in business in real estate say that they hit a ceiling in how far they were promoted. I think Lori, I think that's one of the things that you were saying. One of the things that's really important is that high achievers are always looking for the purposeful way, because through that purposeful way, you're going to break through where that ceiling is. And in real estate with Keller Williams, you're going to be able to break through that ceiling. You're going to be able to live a larger life. And Ignite is not only designed to help you start your business, but really to help you grow your business. It's going to help you move from that entrepreneurial to purposeful with the mindset, models, systems, and breakthroughs that you need. So the fourth perspective is an obvious one, and one that you're already doing by being here today. It's being learning-based. A learning-based individual appreciates learning for their own improvement. They know what they know, and they know that there's always more to know. An individual who does not appreciate learning is what's referred to as ignorance-based. They know what they know, and they ignore everything else. I'm sure we can probably think of a couple of people in our lives or people who we know who might fall into that category. Learning-based individuals have made the decision to use effective learning as the foundation piece for their action plan to develop their life. Training and education are a big part of moving forward to attain goals and succeed at a high level. Learning-based individuals commit to the process of acquiring skill-based habits. Okay, we have another quote here. I am neither especially clever nor especially gifted. I am only very, very curious. So being learning-based means staying in curiosity and being eager to learn more. Okay, the fifth perspective, removing your limiting beliefs. High achievers remove any beliefs that are going to be holding them back. So what are limiting beliefs? They are the thoughts and mindsets that limit you. Like the ones on the slide, I don't have time for training. I can't be successful in this market. I can't devote 3 hours every day to lead generation. We all have limiting beliefs, and it's best to recognize them and to try to change them. For example, are any of these thoughts in your head? I have to be an expert and know everything before I can begin my business. I'm not even veiling that. I don't know how I can achieve a profit goal that will fund my life this year. I don't feel comfortable talking to people about real estate. The business is just going to come to me naturally. I don't need to lead generate. In order to be successful, to successfully develop at a higher level, you must clear your mind of those limiting beliefs first. You're going to learn how to combat your limiting beliefs and turn them into action. So what limiting beliefs do you have that you have right now as you're embarking on your new career? Let's do an activity to unlimit any of those limiting beliefs, okay? So what I want to do, I want to have a couple volunteers share what one of their limiting beliefs is, and then I want someone to type in the chat how you can unlimit that belief, okay? So who wants to volunteer with what one of their limiting beliefs may be? Carissa, the market is already saturated. Okay. What's a reframe of that limiting belief? Does anyone have an idea here? Carissa, just to dive deeper, when you say the market is saturated in what way? Do you mean with agents, with
So for like me specifically, like one of the biggest agents in the area, her child is in the same grade as my kid in the same school.
Mhm.
So for me, that was a limiting belief before I got my license, was because like, oh, everybody that I know knows her. So but it's a matter of, but would they prefer to work with me, right? What do I provide that's different than them? So our personalities are different, and so I've been running and getting over all those other things. So I got my license regardless, and I see her and we're friendly and everything like that. But I hear all the time, that people would like my personality. I'd be, great at this, and so I was like, well, I'm not going to let that stop me. So I'm not going to let it be something that limits me.
Wonderful. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Lori had a great response in the chat, and that your personal service will set you apart. And I 100% believe in that. People may know her, but that doesn't mean that everybody necessarily wants to work with her. And that doesn't mean that you don't have an amazing value that you can provide that's unique to what she has. Just the fact that Carissa, I'm going to ask a couple questions if that's okay. When did you become licensed, and when did you join Keller Williams?
Okay, so I got fired for the last time, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take my life in my own hands. So I got my real estate license because my sister has said to me for 20 years I should be a real estate license, or I should be a real estate agent. My background was a little bit real estate adjacent. I was like a receptionist for a real estate office and did estate sales and home staging assistant and stuff like that. So I kind of went around real estate, and I then was working for like a doctor's office in the front desk, and I got fired because I'm a foster parent and I needed to take off for court dates. And I mean, it was just a big old long story, but it was no fault of my own. And so I was like, well, I need to do something to make money that nobody's going to be able to stop me from doing because of me being me. So.
And how long have you been with Keller Williams?
Same as Lori. We're actually in the same office since March.
Since March. Wonderful. So I would say, thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you for the work that you do as a foster parent. I think that is commendable and is something that I wish that there were more folks who are willing to and interested in being able to commit to that level of love and service. So thank you for that. I think it's interesting, given the fact that there's someone who has so much more experience and in traditional ways, who is a part of your world in that way. And that person hasn't had the most recent education and training that you are getting right now, and that you had when you took your exam. And so I think that fresh perspective is really something that can be a huge advantage in this market. That the most updated tips and tricks to help your clients really be as successful as possible navigating a tough market. So I think, in addition to you being you and the great value that you will add and share, I think the fact that any of us are new to this world can be a huge advantage as opposed to people who maybe have been stuck in the world in the past. So thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that, Carissa.
I'll share whenever.
Perfect. I'll call on you later. Carlin, if your child is in sports outside the classroom, maybe you can connect with that community. Great idea. Yep. Interests and hobbies that may be outside of the classroom, whatever those may be, is another great way to be able to show your value and connect while still being family focused. I love that. Okay. So the sixth and last, there we go. Sixth and last perspective is about being accountable. And so when we talk about being accountable, accountability is first and foremost an attitude and an approach to your entire life. And so an accountable person says, everything in my life is a result of my choices and actions, and I own my life. Accountability is a tool for continually changing the results in your life in those areas that matter the most. AKA your 20%. A person who's accountable in their 20% says, I own my life, and in certain areas, I want to continually improve my results. I will be purposeful and I will be learning based to continue improving. So Ignite will provide you with the tools to develop and cultivate your accountability in order to be successful. Happiness is not an individual sport. Okay. Along the lines with this, Gary Keller says, no one succeeds alone. So looking at this quote, do you agree with this? Do you disagree with this? What are some thoughts?
This is Lori. I absolutely agree with this. I think that we can pull from each other's strengths. I have a very contract mind, being in the insurance world for so long, and I worked in the IT space. So for me, I'm very logical and factual, and actually, as Carissa mentioned, we started at the same time, and she has different perspective on things, and it works great for us. So I think that we together can complete some thoughts and be very creative together because we see things differently. So that's just one example.
I totally agree. Thank you so much for sharing that. Anyone else?
This is Wei Sean. So I think that this quote means that anybody can be happy, and not only is your happiness on you, but I think that you should get around people who want to be who are like-minded and want to succeed, and everybody can be happy, if they share same ambitions, and it's nothing like people coming together and succeeding and helping each other get there.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. Anyone else? Fran, no one is an island. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
In our lives, we will always have connection with other people unless we become hermits, and that's very hard to do. So how we interact with other people will contribute to our happiness. And I believe that when we share,
cool, I agree.
When we share our lives with others, we add to our own life. When we interact with other people, little bits of them filter into our life, and little bits of us filter into their lives. And I think it naturally makes us happier people.
I agree. And I think that's one of the reasons why who you surround yourself with is so important, because we do pick up on pieces from other people, and we give pieces of ourselves to other people too. Ahas. So one of the things that you'll notice through Ignite is that we are sharing ahas, because they're powerful and meaningful insights that come from the reflection on the experiences that we're having. So I want to hear in the chat. Oh, thank you, Carlin. I just saw that. Sorry. Happiness is often not achieved by isolation. It may suggest happiness is found through connections, by sharing experiences and contribute to the community. Yes, 100%. Absolutely. Thank you. So it's important to understand that your success in this business is not all and only about getting paid for helping people buy or sell a house. It's really about your mindset, your beliefs, and your commitment to be the very best person that you can be. Does anyone have any ahas, anything that they learned or thought of from the first little section here that we've talked about that they'd like to share with the group? I just need 2 ahas before I'll move on to the next section. call on folks. Let's see here. Robin B. Robin, are you there? How about, the 80-20 rule? Yep. Good. Tamika, can you share a little bit more about that? Or Jana?
Well, for me, it just means that 80% of my business is going to be from the 20% of the effort that I focus on the most in my sphere. So that's going to be where I get the majority of my business.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, Jana.
Sure thing. Hi, everyone.
Anyone else have anything they'd like to share? Okay. So Keller Williams is really big on mindset. We are also really big on models and systems based on the proven success strategies of those who've found success before. So it's our job to take advantage of the collective wisdom so that we can become highly successful as well and make this our chosen career for life. So let's take a look at how Keller Williams culture will power through with your career. So as you likely know, there's an entire page devoted to culture on KW Connect, which is our company's intranet of resources that's available to all of you. Culture is the #1 reason why people say that they chose Keller Williams. So today we're going to focus on a few elements of culture that are really important to Keller Williams. Okay. MVVBP. Has anyone heard of this before? This is the mission, vision, values, beliefs, and perspective. So today we're going to take a look at the mission and the beliefs of Keller Williams. So, mission. To build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. Ignite focuses on helping to build careers worth having. And of course, the intention is to build businesses worth owning as well. Many Keller Williams agents have built businesses worth owning and are living a great life that they envision themselves. Many Keller Williams agents have grown to the point where they're achieving fulfillment by providing experiences for others and laying foundations for the legacies worth leaving. By the end of Ignite, we'll revisit the mission and explore your thoughts on a life worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. Part of the MVVBP is the B, the beliefs, and we call them the Y4C2Ts. All Keller Williams associates agree to abide by these beliefs because we believe it's the right thing to do. So, what they are, and hopefully you can see it on the screen: win-win or no deal, integrity, doing the right thing, customers always come first, commitment in all things, communication, seek first to understand, creativity, ideas before results, teamwork, together everyone achieves more, trust starts with honesty, equity, opportunities for all, and success results through people. So let's discuss for a moment the E for a minute, the equity. Passed in 1968, the Fair Housing Act made it illegal to discriminate concerning the sale, rental, and financing of housing based on race, religion, national origin, color, gender identity, and sexual orientation. This law was expanded to prohibit discrimination based on disability or family status in 1988. The National Association of Realtors reminds us that we are the stewards of the rights of all to own, use, and transfer property, and that we must protect the free market that depends on equal opportunity. We must hold ourselves responsible to protect housing rights in our country. In addition, being open to diverse clients and their needs is just smart, good business. Throughout Ignite, we'll present more about how equity, diversity, and inclusion can benefit your business. You can learn more from some of the amazing classes that Keller Williams has to offer, such as the color of real estate, unconscious bias, and agent of distinction. Oops. Culture is represented within these organizations that we have. Who has heard of Red Day or KW Cares or KW Kids Can? See a couple hands up, a couple people in the chat. Any other hands? Okay, so Red Day, let's go over these really briefly. Red Day began in 2009, and it stands for Renew, Energize, and Donate. It's a day of pouring into our communities across the globe and occurs on the second Thursday of May each year. We've built homes from the ground up, gathered and distributed food to those who need it, organized relief efforts when natural disasters hit, and spread joy and raise funds as only Keller Williams can when life takes an unexpected turn. KW Cares is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to serving KW associates and their qualifying family members experiencing hardship as a result of a sudden emergency. KW Cares also provides financial grants and aid when these unforeseen emergencies occurred and has given away millions in support. And then there's KW Kids Can, which is also a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to empowering young adults to unlock their greatest potential through self-development events, coaching, and scholarships. You can donate or get involved with any of these cultural organizations, and I would encourage you to consider that and to look into these. Any ahas from this section here? Are there any of the communities that I just mentioned or cultural events, whether it's Red Day or KW Cares or KW Kids Can, that are interesting to you that you might be interested in participating in? Yes. Awesome. Great, thank you so much. So the next thing that I want to talk about is some of let's just move on to the next one. Sorry. Okay. So how does KW benefit you and your customers? So as you can see, we have won a lot of great awards, and we are known for being for having really great global reach in all 50 regions. And there's a lot of ways that you're going to be able to assist your clients moving into their area from another country, or to moving or investing into this country or wherever you may be. Keller Williams is known for its stellar coaching and training, having earned top awards from Training Magazine over 4 years to enter their exclusive Hall of Fame. KW recognizes the importance and value of training like the Ignite course and coaching programs like Bold that many agents take twice a year. Is anyone who is here already signed up for or have already taken Bold? If you could just comment in the box. In the chat. Michaela, you're signed up. When does yours start? Does it start in October? Yes. Okay, you've already taken it. That's awesome. You should be leading this conversation. So in addition to Bold, there are two big annual events for training, coaching, and networking that you can attend. These are national, these are for the entire company, and everyone comes together. Family reunion happens over several days in February, and mega agent camp happens over several days in August. So there's lots of great ways for training and to continue to be able to continue to learn and grow as an agent. KW Connect or KW Technology is really an amazing way to simplify your everyday life, making room for what truly matters and being able for you to really apply the 80-20 principle. Have any of you already explored Command? Yes. Yes, great. I would encourage you to really check it out. I'm sure that your market center has classes, and there's also classes online for you to learn more about it. But I would encourage you to expand and to explore a little bit more about everything that Command can offer for you. I want to talk very briefly about profit share and growth share, because this is a really awesome and important section for you to consider. Who knows a little bit, who has heard of the concept of passive income before? So passive income is, does anyone have a definition of passive income?
Income that just comes in regularly.
Yep. Is that Jennifer? Is that you?
No, it's Carolyn.
Caroline, sorry. Yes.
Like income that comes in without like participation in many things, just regularly coming in from different sources.
Yes, that's great. Julie, mailbox money. Tell me what you mean by that.
Well, it's really money that ends up in your mailbox that you're not expecting. Because if you're planning on it, it's no longer passive. And if you're assuming it's coming in, it's no longer passive. So it's just income that happens to end up in your mailbox, and there it is.
How awesome. Yes, absolutely. So you have likely heard about profit share when you joined and when you chose a sponsor. When you chose that sponsor, you automatically became a part of the profit share system and made that your sponsor eligible to share in the market center's profit. So what exactly is profit share? It's completely, entirely, wholly, and absolutely passive income. So it's the money that you receive without doing anything actively to earn it. Pretty awesome. So Keller Williams has designed a system for you to share in the profits of the company like an owner would, without any personal risks or investing any capital. So who benefits? You, your family, and your heirs. Yes, you can pass on the income to your heirs. Your market center and the people you influence to join Keller Williams by helping the market center grow and by helping other real estate agents benefit from all the value that Keller Williams provides. And Keller Williams Associates and leadership as a whole benefit. There's also growth share, which allows you to help grow the company outside of the United States and Canada. Any KW associate can participate in and reap the rewards of both growth share and profit share. Any ahas from this section? Okay, we're gonna keep going then. So now one of the things that we're going to do is take a look at some of the resources that Keller Williams has to offer. The goal of Keller Williams is to keep you, the agent, at the center of the home buying and owning experience. Keller Williams Realty has been joined by Keller Williams Worldwide, Keller Mortgage, Keller Covered, and Keller Offers to make sure that you are at the center of the home buying experience and the center of the entire life of the home ownership experience. So when we bring up these companies, especially Keller Mortgage, it's important to follow RESPA, which is the Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act guidelines. So pursuant to RESPA, Keller Williams agents and associates must provide an ABA disclosure to the consumer at or before any referral is made to Keller Mortgage. More information on RESPA and the ABA disclosure can be found on KW Connect. And you're going to be learning more about how to offer these company services to your clients later in Ignite. Keller Williams strives to meet the needs of all associates, including those who solely specialize in the niche of the real estate market. These are agents who choose to only help clients with commercial needs, such as office buildings, rental space, multi-unit apartments, hotels, etc. Other agents are finding really amazing success catering to clients in sports or entertainment fields. KW provides communities for these specialties, along with targeted services and marketing. Agents who become members of one or more of these communities may be offered additional resources, such as marketing materials designed especially for them. As you take a look at these, as these communities, are there any here that you would be interested in learning more about? And how can these communities help expand your thinking of your real estate career? Ashley, interested in luxury? Yep. Great. KW Commercial. KW Military. Sports and entertainment, yep. Great. Any ahas? Did everybody already know about the communities? Or were any of those interesting and kind of get things thinking about perhaps a different direction or a direction that you could take your career? That's a really great takeaway, Fran, that KW is much more than just real estate. Awesome. Okay. So now we are going to talk a little bit about your career vision. So this is where I want you to really, really think a little bit about yourself. So let's imagine it's 1 year from today. So it's the 12th of September, 2024. Let's kind of think about what has happened over the last 12 months as you look back and reflect. So your business is thriving and your life is everything you've dreamed of. Your customers rave about the experience and value you provide and think of you when they have a real estate need. Your family and friends are so proud of your success and are consistently referring business your way. You are helping others live their dream of owning a home because you are focused on helping them get what they desire. You are building the foundation and momentum for your entire career and gaining relationships and experiences and the income you desire. You're a top agent in your market center, or if you're brand new, rookie of the year. You're poised to hire a part-time assistant to handle your 80% while you take care of the 20% that grows your business. You are on the path to what? What do you want to be on the path to? So I want you to think for a couple of minutes. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to think about this. And I want you to write down all of the great things that are gonna happen to you over the upcoming 12 months. Okay, I'll give you 30 more seconds. Okay. Do I have anyone who would like to share a couple of things? And or how does that make you feel? And who intends to achieve the vision that the future that you've envisioned?
Okay. Good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. So this is way, Sean. All right. So you said it's a year from now. So a year from now, I'll be more comfortable explaining information to clients as in regards to contracts, and any or anything that's in my room of understanding. I'll be closing more deals, and I'll have better communication between me and my clients.
Terrific. Those are some really great goals. Thank you.
Mhm.
Ashley, being able to spend more time with your kids and having your houses paid for? Yeah. These are great. Anyone else? Okay. So let's expand our thinking beyond just the next 12 months. For example, what are you doing for the people you care about? What charities would you support? How would you make the lives of yourself and everyone around you better? So what I want you to do is think about this a little bit more. Add an amount that you'd like to spend on different categories in your big life. Add more boxes if you need to. If you need to add more because you want to travel with your family on vacations, if you want to improve your home, if you want to support others who are in need, create some different boxes and let's see what that's going to add up to. And I would really encourage you to think about things without we want to make sure that we're not thinking of any limiting beliefs. I really want you to think about, no limit here. Don't think, gosh, I'll never afford X. Just put down what you desire. I think it's really important to help establish a mindset of caring and gratitude along with your goals at the beginning of this journey. Even jobs that you are going to absolutely love are going to have moments where you struggle to find motivation. During Ignite, you'll learn a lot about the ins and outs of how to find and keep business. You'll learn everything you need to do to get a deal to the closing table. And the more connected you are with what you want to do with your success, the more you'll find that success. As you go through Ignite, look for ways you're limiting your own success and remove those barriers that you're putting in your own way. Be especially aware of those limiting beliefs that can creep in if you're not careful. Connect to your goals to push through and achieve your goals. At Keller Williams, we believe in thinking big. We never limit ourselves by thinking average or anything less than big. Everyone has a big why. Your big why is what you're most passionate about, and along with your mindset and attitude, it's what really drives you. So what I want to know is, what really is your big why? What stirs your soul? Think beyond just business, but what drives you? Is it money, freedom, providing for your family, college tuition for your kids, building a legacy for the future, saving rescue dogs, supporting a charity? What is it? Take a moment and write it down. Is anyone willing to share what their big why is?
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Wait, Sean. So my my biggest why is my family, and another one is financial freedom. You know,
Absolutely.
So-
Thank you.
no problem.
Carlin, can you talk a little bit more about stability? I love that.
Sure. So some of mine was stability, financial literacy, and providing for my family. I would just like to have the power to use my financial gain to whatever it is that I would want in life, whether it's, investing, building, ownership. I would like to have that freedom and stability to be able to implement into my everyday life and into my children's lives.
Absolutely. Thank you. Early retirement, wouldn't that be great? Especially if we had early retirement and then we had some of that mailbox money that Julie was talking about earlier. That sounds pretty great. Anyone have anything else that they'd be willing to share? Okay. So one of the things that we've talked about is how much things cost and how things are going to, what your big why is, what you're working towards. So I want to take a few minutes and talk about commissions. Many new agents get the check for their first closing and they pocket it all, and then they'll get in a little bit of trouble down the line. So I want to talk a little bit about where money goes and how much will actually be going towards your goal. These numbers are very, very general and are only meant as an example. So if any of you are also on a team, the actual amounts are going to vary. So just keep that in mind. Oh, oops, okay. Okay, so. There we go, okay. Okay, so typically your total commission is typically split 50-50 between the buyer's agent and the listing agent. And so then from there, a third of that is going to be towards the market center to cover company dollar, franchise royalty, and fees. And so then after you pay the market center, roughly another third goes back into your business to covering marketing, operating expenses, signs, anything else that you need to conduct and to grow your business. So one of the things that is important to do is to take a look to see how much you are going to need to do in order to get your commission and the money that you want to get. So how many homes must you help buy or sell in the next 12 months in order to reach your net income? So these are some steps that you can take to take a look to see how many transaction goals you will need to take based on your average commission. So I would talk to your coach to do some more specifics around this. But this is really important. And the other thing that's super important to remember is that the money that you get is before taxes. And so you need to estimate and save and pay your own taxes as a business owner 4 times a year. I am not an accountant. I don't pretend to be an accountant. And so you should definitely talk to an accountant about what all of this looks like for you. Okay. So we just have a couple of things, and then we're going to try and take a break in about 5 minutes before we move on to the next section. We're not going to do this right now. So one of the things that is important is to help you have the mindset, skills, and tools that you need to secure your first appointment and reach a successful close on the buying or selling of a house. The daily success system includes the essential daily lead generation activities to get there. And many of you shared at the very beginning that we know the importance of lead generation. And so your daily goal during Ignite is to have this. What we'd love for you to have are 10 conversations, to add 10 contacts to your database, to do 10 handwritten notes, to utilize the 10-5-1 social media engagement, and to do other enrichment that is offered at the end of each of these lessons, which you'll learn more about as we go through Ignite. So the first job of a real estate agent, as we all know, is lead generation. The activity of generating leads is the foundation of your business. In addition, practicing conversations and dialogues will prepare you for confidence and success. Success is measured in appointments, signed agreements, signed contracts, and closed transactions. So before we get involved in conversations with contacts and lead gen, we first must remember to comply with the Telephone Consumer Protection Act and the Do Not Call regulations. We review these in every single one of our Ignite classes because it is critical that you protect yourself and your market center from any legal action. And every day in class, we will make calls to people that we know and that we're connected with. Before you make any calls or texts, please remember to honor the Telephone Consumer Protection Act and the Do Not Call lists, including those of your market center and state. If you have any questions or concerns about this, please consult your market center or your attorney to ensure compliance. Also check any market center and state Do Not Call lists. Refer to the guidelines. Refer to the guidelines in your participant guide for more details. So, let's see. So subscribe to the registry. The registry is hosted on a dedicated website. Your market center should subscribe to the registry and provide you with login credentials. Please note that it is a violation of federal law to make any telemarketing calls without access to the registry. check before you call. Before making a call, check to see if the consumer is on the registry. If the consumer is on the registry, do not call. Make sure you update your call list regularly. Delete all numbers in the registry from your list at least every 31 days. Never call a consumer if the consumer requests to be placed on your personal or market center's do not call list. All consumer do not call requests must be placed on a list and honored permanently unless the consumer subsequently consents to being called. And know that in addition, to federal laws, many states also have laws governing telemarketing, and make sure that you are familiar and compliant with your state's laws. The daily success systems requires that we talk to people every day, and it's important to know what to say, and we are going to help you throughout to ignite. You're going to have conversations of care and gratitude. You're going to check in with people, offer value and assistance. Notice I did not say you're calling to ask if they need to buy or sell, did I? No, because there's a better way to gain confidence and to stay in touch with people so that they think of real estate, they think of you. Conversations strengthen relationships. So as we think about just our everyday conversation, there are a lot of different things that we can do and say to people as we are out and about so that we can start to have some conversations. One of the things that we have is conversations with people we know in our sphere of influence, or also known as our SOI. Your sphere of influence are people who you've met and who you know, trust, and respect. They are also most likely to help you. After all, people like to do business with those who they know, trust, and respect. So did you know that according to the National Association of Realtors, 66% of sellers and 41% of buyers found their agent through a friend, neighbor, or relative, or used an agent that they had worked with before. It literally costs nothing to get in contact with people who you already know. And so I would encourage you to take some time and to think about who it is that you can call and check in on and just offer some support. Who do you know who's going through a life event? Who doesn't quite yet realize that you are a real estate agent? Who haven't you spoken to in the last 2, 3, 4 weeks? These are all great people for you to reach out to and just say hello and start the conversation. So what this graph shows is that when people are likely to move. So the National Association of Realtors has found that the average person moves every 7 to 10 years. The peaks are a moment a person moves. So as soon as they purchase, the likelihood of a move falls back down, and over time, the likelihood of a move builds back up. Your job is to have a relationship throughout their entire home ownership so that you're top of mind when they are beginning to consider another move, or they know someone else who has a real estate need. And so if you haven't talked to someone in the 8 years after a deal, why would they call you first when they're ready to move? So it's important to remember, how would you feel if your friends only called you when they wanted something from you? You probably wouldn't feel very cared about. And so you want to make sure that people know that you care about them, not just when there's a time that you're asking for business. That's why we want to stay in contact with people consistently over time so that we can offer value, and that they will be the ones who are reaching out when they do have time, when they're ready for a move. Has anyone heard of the Ford method before? So the Ford method, Carrie has, great. Ford method is family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. So these are all things that you can use when you're following up with someone and checking in. So how is your family doing? Are you still working at Pizza Hut, how's that going? Recreation, did you ever get that boat that you were talking about? What's going on with that? Dreams. I know that early retirement is something you had talked about before. How are things going with that? What's going on? So one of the things that I want you to think about is this Ford method and how you can use the Ford method with some of your, the people that you know in your sphere of influence. We're going to use that Ford method in just a couple minutes. Any ahas from this section? Okay, so what we're going to do is thank you. So what we're going to do is this. We are going to take a little break. And we're going to go into the next section of the class. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a 10-minute break and come back in 10 minutes. In the meantime, I have a task for you, which is that I want you to use the Ford method, and I want you to reach out to as many different people in your phone, people who you already know, and ask them about something and check in with them. You can ask them about their family, you can ask them about their occupation, you can ask them about a hobby that they have or a dream that they have. You can ask them about any of those things. So what I want to know when we come back in 10 minutes, I want to know how many people you reached out to. I want to know how many responses you got from that. And I want to hear what the end result was. I want to hear from a couple of you to hear how that felt for you. Okay. We are going to do this as a contest. And so there's going to be a prize for the person who has the most, who reaches out to the most people with using the Ford method. And there's going to be a prize for the person who has the most responses. So prize for both. In the meantime, anyone who has joined the Zoom late, what I want you to do is make sure that you add your name and your phone number and your location to the chat. Chloe is making a awesome spreadsheet for everyone with your contact information so that you can stay in contact throughout Ignite. We want to make sure that we have everybody on there. So we're going to take 10 minutes now, make some Ford either calls or texts if that's easier for you. And we're going to come back in about 10 minutes. I don't know if I Okay, hi everyone. Is everyone back?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see the cameras on. Okay. How many phone calls or texts did we get to? Who raise your hand using the raising your hand feature if you were able to make one phone call or one text? Carmen, Lori, Kimberly, great. Okay, can I just ask Miss Johnson, how do you say your first name? Because I've seen that you have commented several times and I love your participation and I want to call on you, but I don't want to mess up your name. I'll just ask you, how do you pronounce your name?
Quintana, but you can call me Quinn.
Okay, Quintana. No, that's such a pretty name. I will remember that. Thank you. Quintana, how many phone calls did you make or text messages?
I was able to text 2 people.
Great, terrific. Did you hear back from any of them?
Just one.
That's okay, 50%, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay, Carmen, so Carmen, you texted 6 and you heard back from 2. So, anyone else? Did everyone get a chance, or did everyone decide to actively lead gen by checking in on at least one person today? If you didn't, I may just kick you out of this group. Because no one's camera's on and I don't know if you're even here to begin with. Carmen, hearing back from 3 now. Excellent. I mean, I guess you guys don't like coffee because I was going to send coffee gift cards, but oh, Michaela, suddenly now. Yes, I heard back from 3. Excellent. Wei-Shan heard back from 3. Spoke to 1. So what did you ask about when you reached out to folks? What was your forward question? Rachel, you spoke to 1 person. What was your message, or what did you lead with? I'm curious.
Hi, I said hello, asked how they were doing and what they had been up to, and asked about their family and their kids, and asked them what they did this summer.
Wonderful. How was that conversation for you?
It was good. It was smooth.
Was it, did it feel natural?
Yes.
Great. Terrific. When was the last time you had talked to that person before tonight?
Probably about 6 months ago.
6 months ago. Okay. I have to be honest, I was a little nervous you were going to say they were like in the next room over. So I'm glad to hear that that was glad to hear that that was a while ago. Terrific. Thank you. Let's see. Lauren Lamb, look at you inviting people to an open house. Tell me more. Can you hop on? I'd love to hear about that.
Yes, I'm actually selling my own rental property. So I'm just waiting to get pictures back to put it on the MLS. So I contacted neighbors and other people who live in the same town who might have friends looking to move to the area.
Wonderful. How did that go? Were people surprised to hear that you were doing this, or how did your conversations go?
I had one person who was sort of surprised, and then other people who just said, oh, let me know, or send me the listing and I'll post it, like on, their social media or something. And another person who referred me to another person, a mutual friend, and said that they had been looking in the area in the summer, but hadn't bought anything.
Well, terrific. So what you're telling me, if I understand this, is you may have even gotten a lead out of this?
Yes, and I texted that person, but she didn't text me back yet.
I mean, that's terrific. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Great. Afifa, checking in on pregnancy. I love it. Tell me more. I hope that you, I love that. Tell me more about that.
Well, my boyfriend's brother's girlfriend, I know, they just pregnant with their 2nd child. I know they were having some trouble getting pregnant, but she's newly pregnant and they want to move, so they need a bigger house.
Did you just find that out tonight?
No, I found out a few months ago, but I hadn't seen them. I wasn't able to go to the baby shower, so I sent a gift, but I hadn't really spoken to her. So
where do they live?
They live in Las Vegas.
And where do you live?
I live in Atlanta area.
Okay, and they want to move
to Colombia, out of the country. So
okay, do they own their own home?
Yes.
Oh my God, this is adorable.
I'm sorry.
No, I love it. They do own their own home. Do they know who they're going to be using to sell?
They do not. She had just mentioned that she was originally planning to rent it out, but she's decided she doesn't want to deal with the hassle of property management, etc. So they're thinking about selling it.
Okay. So this is amazing. And Afifa is not a plant. I did not ask her to share this information.
I just joined
be-
yesterday.
No. And I need you all to hear something really, really important. We have an amazing referral program here at Keller Williams. There is a Facebook referral groups. There are agents everywhere, worldwide. Did you know, and maybe you did, I hope you did, and if you didn't, you're going to hear it from me, and I may just change your life. Did you know that you can get a referral fee by connecting someone who you know in a totally different state with another Keller Williams agent? So, Afifa, you can, if you work to find an agent who you think your brother's girlfriend and brother, is that right, may be interested in using, you can reach out to them and you can get a percentage of what that what the commission is after they sell their place. And the only work you would need to be doing is connecting the two of them together. Now that's contingent on the agent being able to accepting a referral fee, all those sort of things. But yes, Lauren, is it good to be proactive to add referral agents in areas where you have family or friends? I had a referral and contacted a few agents and only one responded. Okay, Lauren, this is one of my favorite questions that I've ever had. It's not even really a question, I guess, but it's a statement that you gave and I'm going to answer it. Yes, 100% yes. And let me tell you this. So Lauren, you've reached out to people and only one person responded. Are you inclined to refer your friends or your brother's girlfriend or your neighbor who has a cousin in the town? Are you interested in referring them to anyone who's not going to get back to you? No, no one's going to refer if someone isn't interested or willing to respond, right? Because if you're not willing to respond, if someone reaches out and says, hey, I'd like to be, I have friends who live in this city, in your city, I don't live in your city, but I'm looking for an agent to partner with so I can refer my friends to them. And if people don't get back to you, that's not great communication, and that would make me a little nervous about possibly selecting them to represent my friends, right? So the fact that you had one respond, I think that's awesome, and I would call and follow up and have a conversation with that agent, because it's going to be really important for you to be able to have people who you know, or to be able to reach out. And if they're not getting back to you, they're not going to get back to their agents. Absolutely, Lori. Yes, it's very important for them to then refer back to you. Absolutely. And again, don't forget, you can get a percentage. It is pretty standard, depending on how hot the lead is, anywhere from 20 to 25% for a referral fee. And that is money that you're going to be getting for not doing a heck of a lot. So I think that's super important. So make sure that you reach out to that. Lauren, does that answer your question? Yes. Okay. We are also, as Chloe is working on our list of everyone, this is another group right here that we have that we can use as referrals. There's people, like I had mentioned in the very beginning, there's people here from Florida, Texas, Atlanta, Rochester, New York, Illinois. We can also serve as referrals. And so this is another great way to stay connected and to be connected with each other and other agents. Carmen, I see that your hand is up, and I'm not sure if it was just in response to a, hey, put your hand up if, or if you have a question. Do you have a question? No? Okay, it's down. If you have a question,
just an accident.
okay, great. I'm happy to answer it, but If not, then, okay. So we are gonna move on to session 3, our next one. Did everyone did everyone write down in the notes section or in the chat how many people they had reached out to and how many people have gotten back to them? So we've heard from 9 people. Great. 10 people. So if there's anyone else who still needs to contribute, we'll give you till 8:30, and then we're gonna call it and pick the top person. And I will be sending some gift cards to you. So get excited, folks, because who doesn't love coffee? Or donuts. Okay. So today, section number 2, we're going to be talking about connecting with your market. So we're going to go over different factors to research and to consider to be prepared before you're meeting with your clients. So this is the path to becoming a real estate expert of choice. Okay, so as Gary says, here's the truth. If it's been done in another market, it can be done in your market. Once it's been done, no matter where, it's just a matter of finding out how that it can be possible in your world. So this quote helps us understand that applying the right systems and models to your market can help you achieve the success of those that have come before you. So when we say connecting with your market and knowing your market, what does that mean for you? Can I have a couple answers in the chat? Yeah, great. So understanding rates, average sales, is it a buyer or seller's market, staying up to date on local trends, average days on market, average price per square foot, different programs. Carlin, I'm assuming you mean like different grant programs and programs that lenders provide. Is that correct? Or did you mean something else?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
no, the different grant programs.
Absolutely, yes. I love that. And I thought that was it. I just didn't want to, I just wanted to make sure that we were thinking the same thing. Absolutely. A well-connected and well-informed agent knows everything that they can possibly know about their real estate market, whether it's a neighborhood, small town, city, county, or segment of the market, such as downtown condos, lakefront, etc. What you choose to know well is up to you. Becoming a real estate expert is all about knowing your market and connecting with the market in unique and consistent ways. Generally speaking, you can know market factors on a macro level and at a micro level. So at a macro level, you know what's going on in the city or the metro area that you live in. On a micro level, you really focus in on specific facts about your neighborhoods, certain parts of town, etc. So we're going to talk about the different types of markets, different numbers like the days on market and those sort of things that you should know, and how to interpret those numbers to understand your client's needs. Okay, so there's 3 different types of markets, and some of you have already kind of mentioned this in the chat. You have a buyer's market, you have a seller's market, and you have a balanced market. These are based on the amount of inventory that is available. Okay. So in a buyer's market, that means that there's more homes for sale on market than there are interested buyers. The supply of the houses is greater than demand. and there's a large inventory of houses available. This really puts the buyer at an advantage and can possibly get a great home for an affordable price. Do any of you work, as far as you know, in a buyer's market right now? No. So as far as I know, there may be some pockets out there. It's really not a trick question, but there may be some pockets out there that are buyer's markets. Overall, we're not seeing that right now. So the opposite is true for a seller's market. In a seller's market, the demand for homes is greater than the supply of homes available. So there's more buyers than there are homes for sale. This then puts the seller at an advantage and creates multiple offers. In a balanced market, how many of you are in a seller's market right now? Or think you may be in a seller's market? Me. Yep. Yep. Lots of folks. Absolutely. In a balanced market, you have a healthy share of buyers and sellers and a good amount of inventory. This is like the Goldilocks. A balanced market is generally represented by having 6 months of inventory available, means there's plenty of both houses and buyers at the same time. So what are some things that you think may cause a shift in the market? Any ideas? How do we go from a seller's market to a buyer's market? Or how do we get to a balanced market? More inventory, unemployment rates, economy. Absolutely. So you're going to see things like changing interest rates, inflation, economic factors like let's say there's a tech company that announces it's building a huge campus in town. All of those things are going to change and can cause a shift in the market. So, is the shift in the market something you can control? No, absolutely not. Can you prepare for it and shift your tactics? Yes, absolutely you can. So as we mentioned, inventory is a primary factor in determining what kind of market you're in. Inventory can help indicate the health and robustness of the market. So using the multiple listing service, the MLS, can help an agent determine the current inventory of the market. So for example, if inventory has started to decrease, that could be a sign that a shift is ahead. The same is true if homes start staying on the market longer or not selling. And if multiple offer situations start to disappear and some houses start to not receive viable offers, it could also indicate that your market is preparing to shift. So does anyone know on average what the average number of days a home stays on your market where you are? These are all going to be likely different answers because we're all in different areas. 5 to 7 days, Fran? And Fran, remind everyone where you are. Rochester, New York. Yeah. Anyone else? So being 5 to 7 days, and we already kind of talked about that. 5 to 7 days, that would typically mean that you are in what kind of a market? You're going to be in a seller's market, right? Things are moving really fast. Okay. Interest rates and lenders, but typically So total days, Lori, so what I'm seeing there, Lori, is your total days is 47. So that's from when the house goes on the market to closing, right? So
Right.
you have, so it typically sells in the first few days, similar to Rochester, probably 5 to 7 days you're under contract. And then typically around 47 days before it closes. So by the time mortgage commitment, all those sort of things go through, and then you get to the closing table. Is that right, Lori?
That's how I view it, yeah.
Yep, okay. So interest rates and lender regulations play important roles in the status of the market. And so as interest rates rise, your buying power is going to start to dip because affordability decreases. These rising interest rates will take some of the buyers off the market. And another important number for you to know for your market is the average down payment percentage for home buyers in the area. So you're going to want to make sure that you pay attention to lender regulations and really connect with some great loan officers and originators, because they can help you get a feel for where your market is headed. If lenders are starting to change their policies, that could also be signaling that a market shift is on its way or is already there. Economic factors. Rising unemployment rates could mean the market is changing, but one factor alone doesn't indicate a radical change. Shifts can be good or bad, so always be on the lookout for how the numbers in your market are changing and what these changes mean on both a macro and a micro level. Your job isn't to become a research scientist or anything like that. It's really just to understand excuse me, how certain economic indicators could impact the housing market going forward. So as long as you have clients to ask you questions about your market, the job of knowing the numbers and adjusting never ends and is never complete. So there's going to be a couple of other things that other important market factors. And it's good to practice to become familiar with certain statistics of different neighborhoods in your market. Any ahas from this area? Okay, moving along. And I am going to be calling on people as we move forward, just as a heads up. So get excited. I can tell you're excited. I can feel it through the computer. Okay. Here we go. Once you know your market and you're familiar with the important numbers, it's time to begin building your expertise. Part of educating your buyers and sellers is becoming the local expert. What are some ways you're already building your expertise on a market level? I would love to hear from Anthony Espinoza. And or I'd love to hear from Stephanie Thomas. Hey, this is going great. Maybe, oh, can't turn mic on at daughter's ballet practice. Got it. Okay.
I'll add something.
Okay, great.
I am hanging out, spending some time with agents in my office. And because I haven't had any transactions, I like to ask them about their transactions, see what's interesting that's been happening.
Terrific.
so that I can really use my office as a source of what's happening in today's market locally.
I'm sure that thank you, Carmen. I'm sure that they probably have a lot of interesting stories for you in this market. Good, bad, and ugly. Okay, excellent. Thank you.
I can add something.
Terrific. Is that Carlin talking?
Yes, it's Carolyn.
Carolyn, sorry.
Kind of like creating your own niche. Like for me, I too haven't had any transactions yet. So I'm kind of focusing on having some valuable marketing to my business and seeing if I can kind of have my own creativity and some type of uniqueness to my brand.
I love that. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, Carolyn. You have your own value proposition. There's information and style and creativity and information that you are unique with. And I love that you are working on defining what that looks like. I think that's terrific. There's 4 steps to building expertise: learning the market, learning your clientele, listening to individuals, and then keeping the headlines in context. Those are all some great steps. So when we say learning the market, it all starts with the language of real estate. This is also referred to as lore, L-O-R-E. So know how the market is moving and how to communicate this to your buyers and sellers. Ask yourself if there's signs of the market picking up or slowing down. You can also get this from the numbers and reports in your market center. So how do your local numbers and their changes compare to the national market? How are things flowing? It's really important to kind of be aware of this. And this is a really great time. Thank you for adding that, Anthony, about spending time in the office to go over data and trends and progress. I think that that's terrific. It's not always glamorous work, but it is important, and it's so important for you to become that expert. So learning your clientele, as you're monitoring the numbers in your market, think about who might benefit from the current and future trends and who might be at risk. Lauren, there isn't a report in command that I can think of. We receive the information from our broker at our monthly stakeholders meeting. I would encourage you to check in at your local or at your monthly stakeholders meeting, or to check in with your coach to find out what the best way is to get the most updated information. Listening to individuals, you're going to want to go where people are. Talk with people who are learning about the market, your clients, potential clients, and chat with them. And even more importantly, listen. The knowledge that they provide could be very helpful for you as you make sense of the market, and importantly, what your clients think of the market. And as you make sense of the market, it's just as important that you listen and understand what your clients think. So for example, people may be saying, oh my gosh, interest rates are going up, and so I need to buy now. Or my neighbor's house hasn't sold, so I'm going to hold off, because obviously that must mean that the market's not good. It's important to listen to individuals and then reach out and follow up. You can only do that if you're there. You need to be present where your people are. You're guiding your clients in the journey, and that means that you need to know where they are and how to best help them. As you learn about the market and your clientele, be very aware that the headlines can be persuasive. The purpose of a headline is to draw you into the story. And the story will typically delve a little bit deeper and give you a jumping off point for seeing if there's similar shifts, numbers, and trends in your own market. So what I would ask your buyers and sellers, if they say things, where are they getting their information from? Is it from the news, social media, their friends? And once you find that out, look and try to read what they're reading and see if you can help them expand their understanding. Always pay attention to your local MLS to stay on top of what's happening in your market. Your clients rely on you to put the market in context for them. Ahas. Let's see who I can call on for a couple of ahas. Let's see here. Bianca Brown, are you on? Are you able to participate with us tonight? Or Tamika, are you there? Valor, yep. Thank you, Alicia. I have friends who say it both ways. I'm not sure how you pronounce yours. Absolutely. Thank you, Bianca. Okay, utilizing resources. Make sure, if you haven't already, that you download the KW Command app. This is a really great resource for you, and it's going to be really important in your business. The Command app is a single platform for agents that can help them with everything from lead generation to data management, and as an organizing necessary tool in one spot. So at the same time, the KW app, which is designed to complement Command, is streamlining the home buying and selling process and connecting agents and consumers like never done before. The biggest value in this technology, which is, you likely know, is available to us as agents and teams at no additional cost, is cutting down on the expenses that can cripple profitability. So Command can assist with lead gen, automating workflow, managing transactions, and all of those sort of things. It's really a great tool for you to be familiar with. Has everybody gotten a chance to download the KW app yet? If you haven't yet, here are directions on how to do it. Oh, good. Jess, you said that it's great. Can you tell us more? What's great about it? I agree. I'm just curious what you think about it.
I think it streamlines everything pretty well as far as being a new agent and trying to piece together all the things. I know somebody mentioned earlier, trying to get together marketing and just trying to figure out kind of who you are as an agent. So I feel like the Command platform does a really good job kind of piecing those things together that you need to know, like your contacts, the referral platform, just some of those basic knowledge pieces.
Yes, excellent. Thank you. If there's anyone who hasn't done it, again, I would, take a moment now and here's the directions on how you do it. It's really a great app and is a free resource that you're able to use. So definitely look into this. Establishing your business on social media is something that can be really beneficial for you. We encourage everyone to do a 10-5-1, which means that you would like 10 posts a day, you write 5 comments a day, and then you send 1 direct message a day. So if you end up doing some of that, that is a way that you can help create more engagement and stay top of mind for people. The other enrichment portion of your daily success system is about knowing the numbers and gaining a strong foundational knowledge of real estate. So other things that you can do: preview homes, take an MLS course, visit and hold open houses, study the lore, read the MREA. Are there other things that you can do, other enrichments? Pop buys, yep, absolutely. Hold open houses, yeah, for sure. Great. Okay. Ahas, any ahas from this section? Ten five one. It's a, yeah, it's a pretty easy way to remember it, and it gives you a good target and goal to have. So I agree. I think that's a really great resource and a good thing to kind of strive for every day if you can. Yep, so the meaning behind the 10-5-1. So you're gonna like 10 posts a day, write 5 comments a day, and then send 1 direct message a day to people. And so by doing that, you're gonna stay top of mind, and you're gonna be engaging with them on things that are important to them. And let's be honest, we're all on social media anyway. This is just a easy way to get credit for doing something that you're probably doing anyway. At least I am. As my phone tells me every Sunday when it says how many hours a day I've averaged being online each week. Ugh, embarrassing. Okay. Does that help, Fran? You good? Yep. Okay. Oh dear. I lost my place. Okay, so we have looked at a lot of things over the last 2 hours, building your expertise, knowing your market, all of those sort of things. And so we are looking at a lot of these ahas to achievement, because each day that in each class that you take in Ignite, you grow in how you think, feel, act, and implement based on what you've learned. So from learning and ahas, you move towards the achievement of your big life, and that will help you then reach your big goals. So I want you to take a moment and just really think about what you've learned, and what you've learned is important in building your confidence and celebrating your growth. So how has your thinking changed? Are there any new mindsets or ideas that are new? What do you feel differently about? Is there anything that was meaningful for you today during Ignite? How will your behaviors be different going forward? What kind of actions are you going to be taking? And what tools, models, and systems are you going to be using, and how will you help them stay accountable? Yeah, the limited thinking is so huge. These are some really, that's so critical if you can do that, Carolyn. Yep. The 80-20 rule, Ford. Great. Anyone else? Thanks, Michaela. Yep. 10-5-1. Okay. So this is your success system. So what we encourage you to do is to have 10 conversations with your sphere, people you know and who know you, to add 10 contacts to your database, your name, their name, phone number, address, and more, ideally email as well. 10 handwritten notes expressing gratitude, letting people know that you're in real estate and that you appreciate referrals. Utilizing the 10-5-1 in social media engagement, and then other enrichments. So what we like you to do is keep track of these things, because this is your system for success. And if you do this every day, you're going to just continually build on it every day, and you're going to have success. Okay, so we already went over the, in the first part of the class, the do not call list and the Telephone Consumer Protection Act. I'm not going to go over this again. However, it is super important for you to all be familiar with this. Talk to your market center if you have more specific questions. I engage every conversation in the spirit of contribution, and people are happy to be in relationship with me. If you start if you think that when you get up in the morning, if that's your daily affirmation, how different do you think some of your conversations are going to go? I think so many of us fall into the trap of, they don't want to hear from me, I'm annoying them, I'm going to bother them. And that's not the case. If you go into things with a mindset of, I engage every conversation in the spirit of contribution, and people are happy to be in relationship with me, they're going to feel that, and that's going to improve how your conversations go. Okay. So, celebrating some successes. I want to hear a little bit more from some of you on any additional conversations that you've had with your with calling and reaching out to people from when we took the last break. Who can share any additional comments or feedback or thoughts? Anyone have anything?
I think I can talk faster than I can type.
Okay, is that you, Carmen?
Yes.
Okay,
I ended up reaching out to 7 and I actually heard back from 5. I was shocked at this time of night. Yeah. I think most of mine was just about reconnecting, because a lot of them I just hadn't talked to in a long time. I think we see each other on Facebook and we know what's happening in each other's lives, but we don't talk directly. So that kind of felt good, actually.
Wonderful. I love that. I love that. Did most people know that you were in real estate, or was this a new announcement for them when you connected with them tonight?
What I had just recently posted it on social media that I'm in real estate now, and one of them, without being prompted, congratulated me on it. So I was like, okay, so they're paying attention. And then I found out another one is moving in December. So we're having coffee soon.
Yeah, you are. You are having coffee immediately. Yes, you are. Wonderful. I love it. That's great. Great work.
Need that Starbucks gift card that you're giving away.
I was just going to add that one of my limiting beliefs is that who's going to answer at this time of night? Because I personally would never answer anyone this time of night.
Okay.
And so just saying, reach out to these people. I'm like, but it's 6:30, it's 7 o'clock, it's dinner time. Like, I'm having this whole moment, and still did it anyways and got a few responses and catching up with people. So I just want to put that out there for everyone. Don't skip past yourself. That's all.
Let's get out of our own way, right?
Right.
You know, and some of us are on the West Coast where it's 6:30 in the evening. So, you know, it's a little bit earlier for them. And that's why I did this at 7:30 Eastern time, because you know, after 8 o'clock or after 9 o'clock, that can be a little late for some folks. But you know, that is something that you never know who could respond to something. And I think people like that they're even being thought of. And so let's not limit ourselves, and let's not you know, let's make sure that we are staying positive and entering things with an open mind. So as I look at our spreadsheet here, does anyone have any other numbers that they want to update us with? So I think if we look at things, what's the highest as far as reach out, Chloe?
Correct me if I'm saying it wrong, but Sean had reached out to 7 people, and that was the highest number we received.
And Carmen, did you say that you also reached out to 7? Was that right?
Yes, 7, and I heard back from 5. So only 2
sorry.
sleepers.
That's okay. Okay, so Carmen and Sean both had 7 reach outs. Did anyone have any more than 7? Okay, and I know that Carmen heard back from 5. Anyone have any more than 5 people get back to them, or any other 5s?
That would be the top for everyone.
That's the top.
The next max I got from people was 3 they heard back from. But Lauren did receive a potential lead.
Ah, Lauren's lead. We can't forget that. Kimberly, you also reached out to 7 and you had 5 people who got back to you. Is that right? Thanks, Lori. Nice to meet you. Okay, great. So what I'm hearing, and did Sean have 5 people get back to him too?
I have written down 3 unless that has been updated since we've checked in.
Sean, did you have 5 people, or how many people have gotten back to you? Oh, it looks like Carmen has 6. Carmen is in the lead.
I just wanted to say, if you are in the contest, make sure you have your contact. Kimberly, I may have missed it, but I do not have.
She just wrote.
Oh, sorry, didn't see that. Well, anyone else in the contest, make sure we have your contact.
Afifa, that's amazing. Okay, this has been incredible. I am so proud of all of you. I am going to be sending out, I will be texting Carmen and Sean and Kimberly. And oh, Kimberly, you also have 6 people. Look at you. Excellent. Must be the name. I'm going to reach out to all 3 of you and connect with you on sending you some gift cards for some coffee because you participated and you put forth a lot of effort and you got a lot back. And I think that's terrific. Before we start to wrap things up for the night, does anyone have any final ahas from tonight? Anyone have any questions? Is there anything that I can answer for you or share or anything along those lines? Oh dear. Oh dear. Nothing? No one?
Yeah, I have one question. I'm sorry. I had to come on the road with the rest of the training because I wasn't prepared to go past 8. But I'm going to share any of the slides with us.
That is a great question. I believe that your coach has the slides, so I would talk to your coach if there's specific slides that you're looking for.
No, I just wanted to make copies of the one with the conversations and kind of like start putting together some daily routines for myself.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. I would talk to your coach because they have access to all of this, so they can give you any of the pages that you need.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Great question. Any other questions or anything I can answer?
I wanted to, can you hear me?
Yes. Is that you, Afifa?
It is Afifa.
Hi.
I wanted to say I received an email earlier today from the link when we joined it on the Eventbrite that had all the slides up there. Like there's a few that you have that we don't have, like just maybe adding yourself, but that might be helpful because I printed them prior to the class.
Terrific.
So they're
Yes.
up there.
I know that they typically send that out the day of. I wasn't sure if that made its way out there to you yet or not. So, Tamika, were you able to register through Eventbrite for this, or?
I did. So I'll go back and look.
Okay, yeah, and if
I had to. It was a
don't-
separate email.
Yep. So if you don't have it, your coach certainly has it. And it looks like Dawn has it as well, which is awesome. And if, so everyone also, Chloe, did you mention about the shared Google Doc that you made?
I put it in the chats.
Yep,
There
so
should
that
be a
means-
link to that.
So there's also a link if anyone wants to get in contact with anyone else and for referrals and for questions and just friendship building. You can go on to the Google Doc and get everybody's information and be able to add your referral base and get in contact with folks that way too.
I can send that again just so people don't have to scroll up.
We'll put that list one more time in the chat just so you have it. I want to thank you all for participating and being here tonight. I had a really great time with all of you. I appreciate your participation, particularly in the chat. This is the first of many Ignite classes, and so I hope that you are excited, and I hope that you are able to participate and gain as much out of this in the future classes that you are able to get today. So I just want to thank you all for your involvement, and I'll stay on for a couple more minutes in case anyone needs anything. I'll also put my contact information in the chat right now. And if anyone needs anything at any time, feel free to reach out to me, and I am happy to help you any way that I can. Thank you so much, everyone, and I won't be seeing you, but someone else will be seeing you tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where you'll be talking about defining your value and coming up with that value proposition. So thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon.